Obviously.
This is the Aflac Insurance Inside High School Sports Show, highlighting all of Section 3, interviewing the greatest local coaches and athletes. Brought to you by SummitCars.com, broadcasting in the ESPN studios. Here's your host, Mike Bristol, and Eagle Newspapers' Phil Blackwell.
All right, Philly B, what's going on, pal? How are you?
Oh, what a time of year this is, with all the sectional championships going on. We've started the baseball playoffs. We've crowned our boys lacrosse champions. Congratulations to Baldwinsville, FM, JD, and Lafayette winning those titles last night in those two places. We've had our sectional track meets. We've had our Section 3 golf tournaments. The softball sectionals are getting to going next week. Girls lacrosse finals are Tuesday night at SUNY Cortland. It is quite a time of year, and we have quite a lot to talk about.
All right, so let's kick it off. We've got a great program, as Phil mentioned. We've got our Aflac Spotlight interview with members of the West Genesee baseball team. And last spring, West Genesee baseball team had a chance, so close to ending a 4-decade-long wait for a Section 3 title, beaten in extra innings in the Class AA final by Baldwinsville. This season, the Wildcats have gone 14-5. The irony here is that many of those wins have come in extra inning games. With the sectional playoffs next week, head coach Kevin Krause, 5 of his players will be here in studio. Brad May, Jack Gordon, Mike Hebard, Tyler Kinsey, and Ryan Page will all join us in studio.
Well, West Genesee lost a lot of seniors from last year's team, probably 9 or 10 of them, and you wondered about the turnover, but they've done really well this season given that, with a new pitching staff, quite a few new faces in the lineup, and the ability to win a lot of close games, which will help you later on in the season, which has been so topsy-turvy in AA baseball. It'll literally come down the top seed to what happens later today when Baldwinsville faces CNS. If Beeville wins, they're a top seed and go straight to the semifinals. If they don't, West Genesee is going to be the top seed, and that's a big deal. If you don't have to play one extra round of playoff, you never know. We've already seen upsets in the B and C sectionals, top seed Holland battened out, so anything can happen in the postseason.
Right after that, we've got our Wegmans Winning Spotlight interview with members of the Syracuse football team. Softball, excuse me. Softball team. Yeah, we're going to have the orange in here. Dun, 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 dun. So a few years ago, the various high school softball programs in the city of Syracuse combined, and that produces, obviously, members of the Syracuse softball team. So it's quite an extraordinary to see how Syracuse has done this season, going 10-5 and earning the number 2 seed for the Section 3 Class AA playoffs, heading to a semifinal here next Saturday against Baldwinsville. The entire Syracuse team is with us in studio, including Anthony Wade and his staff, plus the players.
It's pretty remarkable because a few years ago, Syracuse was getting blown out game after game after game. It was not pretty to see what was going on. But now look what they've done. They've beat established programs. They've hung close to other powerful teams like Jamesville DeWitt, make them really work. This is pretty remarkable what they've managed to accomplish and showing what can happen with the Syracuse City program. And it's a great turnaround story.
All right, and then after that, our SummitCars.com spotlight interview with members of the West Genesee boys tennis team. And, why was it a big deal that the West Genesee boys tennis team earned the Section 3 Class A championship last week? Well, no other Fayetteville man. Well, let's talk about this way, and you and I should talk about this, Phil. Fayetteville Manlis had won this thing in a long time, and in fact, no one had beaten the Hornets for 267 consecutive matches before the Wildcats did so in a 4-3 decision on May 15th. That came the sectional tournament. West Genesee won again, so their coach, Joe Manara, is going to be here in studio with several of his players.
Well, the thing with West Genesee was they weren't even the best team in the league this season. Baldwinsville was. They won the regular season. But it was West Genesee who managed to knock off FM and end that long win streak the Hornets had. The same thing that happened 4 years ago with the girls' tennis team. Remember we had them on the show, the West Genesee girls' tennis team, ended FM's long win streak. That happened too. In fact, Monera coaches both teams. His son's one of the players on this particular team, and they'll have 5 other players here to talk about that and winning the sectional team tournament then by winning 2 of the 5 divisions as well. Pretty remarkable.
All right, so that's your show for you. We're gonna finish up with our good friend Mark Burns, Syracuse Recruiting Battalion. Finish up with him as they're celebrating and getting ready for Memorial Day. But we'll be right back, obviously. And as I mentioned, Phil and I, we're going to kick things off right with the West Genesee boys baseball team. Will be here in studio. So we'll be back a couple minutes. This is the Aflac Insurance Inside High School Sports Show and presented by SummitCars.com.
This is the Aflac Insurance Inside High School Sports Show, brought to you by SummitCars.com.
All right, here we are back on it. Mike Bristol, the great Phil Blackwell, and we're going to talk West Genesee baseball, which is always fun. Our Aflac Insurance interview. Kevin Kraus in studio. What's up, Coach?
How we doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Can't complain.
So you're talking to my good friend Maggie a little bit earlier today, right? This morning, is that what you said?
I sure was.
I was going to say Maggie Kraus, but it's no longer Maggie Kraus. It's what's the last name again?
Rice.
Rice. That's right. What's her husband's name?
Chris.
Great guy. He's still doing the laundry
He sure
thing?
does.
He rocks a good suit, right?
Yes.
Does he take care of your stuff?
Yes.
Do you ever wash your underwear and everything? Or
No, never do that.
Wife does that? Do you have a wife yet?
Pretty much so, yes.
Am I going to get you in trouble right now on air?
Probably. We move on.
Did you get a new tat? Let me see that thing. What is that on your wrist? What does it say?
That's Spartan Trifecta.
Explain that to me.
That's
Like Spartan Power?
course racing, and there's 3 different lengths, and I did that a couple years ago. So when you do all 3, it's called a trifecta.
Right, and then is it like a triathlon kind of event?
No, you're climbing up mountains and carrying logs and going through mud and climbing ropes and.
What do they call that? A mud something or other?
It's called a Spartan race.
Spartan race.
Yes.
Okay. And how'd you get into that? Let's forget about talking West Genesee boys baseball. Let's talk about Spartan racing.
I needed something to challenge myself, and it is mentally grueling to do those for me, especially because cardio has never been a great thing.
So you just got to go for it.
You got to go for it.
I love it, Coach, and I love that Maggie's sitting. So Maggie and Chris have a nice pool. At their
They
place?
have an amazing house.
I got to see. You got to show me a picture. Got any pictures on your phone?
I have a picture of her at the pool.
Nice. Let me see that. Let's see what Maggie's looking like these days. See if she's staying in
Just a
shape.
picture of the pool and her feet.
All right, let's get right to it. First of all, Brad May. What's up, Brad May?
Not much. How's it going?
Brad, you look like you showered. You got all dapper for the studio. You got some new shoes on.
Yeah, and an interview after this.
What do you got an interview for? What do you got?
Applying at a restaurant near my house.
You got dressed up for this. Don't.
And this as well,
Yeah,
yes.
I mean,
Of course.
You knew there were going to be girls here.
What's
Definitely.
that's just Phil in the studio. But listen, Brad, what's the interview for?
I'm applying for a kitchen job at a restaurant.
Like
near my
clean
house.
dishes and all that good
Yeah.
stuff? Yeah, you look good for that.
Thanks.
Jack, you're up. What's up, Jack? Jack Gordon.
Up.
What's happening?
Not much. Just living.
Grab the microphone. You look like you're the guy that's like the most relaxed on the team. Is that kind of
I guess you could say that.
easy going, dude? All right, cool. Mike Hubbard. What's up, Mike?
How are you?
Good job. Your hair looks good.
Thank you.
Good job being in studio. Tyler Kenzie. What's up, Tyler?
I'm good. How are you?
What's happening?
Not a whole lot.
Good to have you. And Ryan Page.
How's it going?
Big bad Ryan Page. I'm doing well. All right, Coach, let's go back to you. Let's talk about guys returning from last season. I guess how long did it take to really get over the sectional final and to get, or have you not gotten over that?
No, we've gotten over it.
Good.
We last year we played as well as we could. We left everything on the field, and I don't think I've ever been any more proud of a team than I was last year when the season ended. It was an amazing game. Anyone that saw it knew that was one of the best high school games ever. So we had nothing to be sad about. We gave it everything we had. Moving on from it, once we hit summer, we started summer camp and then fall ball and then our winter work. And to be honest with you, I think this year we kind of were living on some of the accolades of last year, and then we hit a rough stretch this year where we lost a couple of games. And we just talked about it was time to make a name for ourselves and not live on what we had done in the past. And ever since that point, we've really played well.
That's great. Do they know that you have Spartan power? Did you at all bring them through a Spartan course at all?
I have not brought them through a Spartan course, but they know I'm pretty intense. So
Every athlete is. Ryan and Jack, let's go to you guys. Ryan, and a question for both of you, but as the top pitchers on this team, let's talk about what you learned from watching like Liam mow down some of those guys, ace last season, be the guy. Ryan, why don't you go first?
Liam last year was great the whole year, and it was great coming up behind him, watching him, seeing how he went through his game, learned the game, and he was just a student of the game and helped me come in next year, come in be as strong as I could.
Yeah, definitely. Jack, how about you?
Yeah, Liam was a big help. He definitely led us. He took us in under his wing and taught us everything he could. And it really means a lot to kind of fill those shoes as me and Ryan have this season.
Jack, what are you throwing? Tell me a little bit about some of your pitching styles, some stuff that you're tossing.
Well, on a good day, I have a four pitch mix.
Okay, go ahead.
Fastball, curveball, slider, and changeup.
Nice. Ryan, how about you?
So I throw a 4 and 2 seam fastball, and then a curveball, cutter, and a changeup.
All right, Coach. Talk about, obviously you're a pitcher, Kevin. Talk about showing these guys stuff and working on the pitching side of things. I gotta imagine that's a huge focus for you.
It is a huge focus for us, and these guys have really stepped up. And our pitching staff has really carried us through the whole season when we've had ups and downs, maybe fielding or hitting, but our pitching has been outstanding. And the guys really get after it. We spent a lot of time in the offseason trying some new things out this year that I think have really benefited. And they do a great job of talking hitters with each other and talking pitch selection, and we've really done a great job. Our catchers, Brad and Louie, have done a great job calling pitches and really mixing pitches up better maybe than we have in the past.
All right, very good. Brad, let's talk about this as a lineup, I guess, where some young players have really stepped up. Talk about some of the guys that have done so and what they've done.
Yeah, for sure. We got a lot of young guys on the team, probably one of the youngest in our league. But we got some freshmen on the team. We got Jake and Louie. They've stepped up for sure. Jake's hitting right at the 2 spot in our lineup. He's playing great second base for us. We got some sophomores in our rotation. We got Nick Jessen, great lefty pitcher. He's filled some big shoes for us. He's pitched out of his mind, to be honest. He throws a lot of strikes. Great pitcher. Dan Davis, great hitter. He plays DH, first base for us. He's been doing well, and we got a lot of young guys on our team that are playing older than they actually are.
Very cool. Phil, why don't you jump in? I mean, Phil Blackwell, Kevin's assistant coach on the baseball team.
All right, I got to ask you guys, and this is an interesting point. You've played a lot of extra inning games this season and won all but one of them. What's the secret when you get into a game like that? And, some of these games were just, games you won that time, a couple of games you won that were resumed. But what's the secret when you're in an extra inning game and you play so many of them? I mean, what's the mentality? Does the mentality change at all? I'll ask you,
Okay.
Brad.
Yep. Okay. So our secret is, well, first of all, we know we're the ugliest team. We are the ugliest team in the section. We don't win pretty all the time. We win ugly. But secret wise, I'd say stay up, stay rowdy, be the team that we know we are. We're crazy guys in there, picking each other up. Just when we just know that when we stoop down and we aren't playing loud and picking each other up, that we're not playing to our full potential. So yeah, just staying up.
Keep rolling here. Kevin, let's bounce back to you here for a second. I want to get a little video as we've got our SummitCars.com spotlight interview. Kevin Kraus, West Genesee boys baseball. Let's talk about the competition that we've seen among this, these Class A, AA teams. Everyone seemingly having a hot stretch at one point or another. Talk about some of the other teams.
Well, I could talk about every team. I was texting with Coach Terzini from Liverpool a couple days ago, and I think if you asked every coach a team they don't want to see in sectionals, I think everyone might say a different team. And I think out of all the years, this is my 18th year, I wouldn't be surprised if anyone won the sectional title this year. And if you went through, I mean, we've struggled with teams. Beeville struggled with teams. CNS has struggled with teams. Liverpool, Rome and Utica are kind of teams that we haven't seen a lot, but they beat us. And, Utica played us tough last night. And, FM, who is the 7th seed right now, is, they beat us one game. And the 2 games we beat them, we were down in the 4th inning. So they could easily have swept us. So I don't think there's going to be an easy game in the section, and it wouldn't surprise me if – I'm hoping it's us, but it wouldn't surprise me if anyone won it.
All right, let's keep rolling here. Mike, let's ask you a question here. Let's get Mike on the microphone. You look at, I guess, the format of the sectional playoffs, given how few teams you have in AA. Talk about the format. How would it be? What would it be? What are you guys kind of foreseeing here?
Right now, it kind of looks like we're going to be the 2 seed. We got to have a couple things happen to be the 1 seed, but I mean, we're just going to go out there and we're going to win our games. I think we're probably looking at FM in the first round, so we got to go out there. We got to play hard. And we got to take it one game at a time.
Nice, Tyler. Let's go to you. Let's talk about your playing, your hitting style. The rest of the guys. Talk about the hitting on this team.
I think it's hit or miss with us. A lot of games we have a lot of hits, and that's when our offense is rolling. We're pitching nice. We're playing well defensively, and that's what keeps us in the game, and that's how we win games. And other times we've had games where we've had very few hits, and if you look back at it, those are the games that we lost. And it's mainly our win, like we win when we hit.
Yeah. Get the ball, get some runs. Coach Fred Kent joined your staff, I guess, as assistant coach after he won the state basketball title here in the winter. Talk about how valuable he's been.
He's been great. Obviously, winning the state championship, and along with Sam Gallagher, one of our great relievers that we have. They brought that winning success from that season into our season, and Coach Kent has a really calm personality, so he's good for me because I get excited quite quickly. And he's good to keep me relaxed, and I go to him for like, how do you stay so relaxed? I'm so intense in the game that sometimes that doesn't rub off on the players well. So I've tried to step back and be more positive, like Coach Ken is. So he's been a great addition to our program. He's had a pretty good year. I think he's I figured out last night he's 36-10 this year.
Oh wow, solid right there. Brad, let's go to you again. Let's talk about the overall camaraderie on this team. You're talking about how you guys are a little bit crazy. What do you guys do to get fired up for games? How are practices? Talk a little bit about kind of how you guys are together.
Well, practices, I'll start there first. We are all always doing something. Nobody's sitting around. We obviously do like to have fun, but I'd say that we're very focused in practice. Outside of practice or in the dugout or whatever, we're all super tight. We're joking around, but we're still focused. But we really enjoy each other a lot. We're a family. We're brothers. Probably one of the tightest knit groups I've ever had. And everybody on the team likes each other, no problems. And I'd say that this is one of the best teams, closest teams I've had in a long time.
Phil, you got something? I saw you raising your hand over there.
Well, I've noticed watching these teams play is that most in the AA teams, the styles are pretty much the same in that there's not a lot of power. It's almost like an old-fashioned type of baseball compared to what we see in the majors with all the home runs and strikeouts. Kevin, I mean, is it even more of an important thing to stress these things if these kids ever go to the next level to say, you still got to work on the basics here. You can't just depend on home runs or whatever or strikeouts?
Yeah, well, our practices are designed to prepare the kids for the next level. So not necessarily, I mean, we have guys that probably aren't going to put down bunts for us during the games, but they're working on it every day in practice. So those 3 hitters, 4 hitters, 5 hitters in high school are going to go to college and be a 9 hitter to start out. So they're going to have to know how to be able to move a guy over by bunting. And so our practices are based on preparing the guys for the future. And we do things, a little bit different maybe than some people. We're super aggressive, and the guys all have green lights. Anyone wants to steal can steal whenever they want. I think I've put on 2 stolen bases the whole year. They do everything on their own. We practice it, and
but if they get thrown out,
I don't say anything.
Oh,
I don't say anything as long as it's it's
good effort.
As long
timing's
as,
right.
Yeah, I mean, if we slip or something, we shouldn't be going. Then I might say something, but I bite my lip because it's going to pay more dividends in the long run than maybe one throw out in the game. I don't want them to ever be fearful that they're going to make an out, or I want them to play fear free.
Jack, Mike, Tyler, that's a great philosophy the coach has. Ryan, the same thing. But Jack, go to you for a second. So have you been thrown out? Did you guys steal a lot? How does it go amongst the guys? You guys talk about it when coach is not around, like, hey man, maybe we should do this a little bit less. Let's keep it rolling. What? Any bets among you guys?
No betting.
No betting.
But yeah, we just love to be aggressive and
go for it.
Yeah, we poke fun at each other once in a while. I'm a PO,
Talk a
but
little trash.
I'm a PO, but I still base run occasionally. So
there you go.
Just get some running.
Mike, how about you?
I did pinch run earlier this year. I didn't think I'd ever pinch run again after last year.
Okay.
I got hosed.
Rough one.
But I jumped over the kid and I was safe.
Nice.
He wasn't too excited to see me.
Did you get on video?
No, I wish.
That would have been a good one.
Yeah, it would have been a good one.
Tyler?
Yeah, I've got caught stealing a few times this year, but it's
like throwing out a second or picked off at first because you're leading.
Yeah, I try to stay aggressive, but also stay within reason. So a lot of times it's just being aggressive, trying to get to second base.
Ryan, how about you?
Well, as a PO, I mean,
Same
I don't
thing. Yeah.
I don't get on the base too much, but
All our big base stealers, well, besides Brad, aren't here.
Aren't in. All right, boys, let's go around. Let's do some shout-outs. Brad, you're up first. Who do we give a shout-out to?
Well, I'd like to give a shout-out first and foremost to my mother and my father.
Very nice.
They're big time for me. They do a lot for me, and I appreciate them a lot.
They must be proud of you and also proud of your facial hair. Jack, you're up next.
Again, my parents for all the love and support they've given me, and also the team to help us really build to our full potential this year.
All right. Michael, how about you?
Friends and family that are listening right now, and everyone that helped us get it this far.
All right, Tyler.
All my family are listening around the country, and
Nice.
all the teammates and coaches that have helped me so far.
Pager. Do they call you Big Red, or do you have any nicknames? What is it? Kyle. So why do they call you Kyle? Again, I hear this one.
Just think it was something to do with an umpire last year. Stuck with me the
Do
whole
the
year.
umpire have red hair?
Who's your shout out?
All right, I'd like to thank my parents. And
Give a
then,
shout out to that umpire.
So my parents and my sister, and also the pack.
All right. Nice. Coach. What do you get?
I'd like to shout out to all our coaches in our program, from our 7th and 8th grade blue and gold to our modified, our 8-9 team, our JV coach Procopio, our coaching staff, my mom, my girlfriend Beth, and all the people that support us.
Beth, we love you, Beth. And Maggie, you got to give Maggie and Chris a
Of course,
shout out.
Maggie and Chris, they're my pool for the summer. So
Yeah, that's exactly right. All right, give yourselves a big round of applause. Which is an Indianapolis baseball team. All right, we'll be right back. Phil, what's on deck? We've got all right. Yeah, we've got Syracuse softball team coming in, which 10-5 record. Nice job. All right, we'll be right back. ESPN Radio 97.7, 100.1.
This is the Aflac Insurance Inside High School Sports Show, brought to you by SummitCars.com.
All right, here we are back on the program for our Wedding Spotlight interview of members of the Syracuse softball team. So it's great to have them in studio. And, of course, the great Phil Blackwell, which is always great to have Philly B. Let's go right around the board. First of all, it's quite extraordinary to see this Cuse team, 10-5, earning the number 2 seed for the Section 3 Class AA playoffs, heading to the semifinal next Saturday against Baldwinsville. Let's go all the way around. First of all, welcome to the studio. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Adonia Wade. I'm the pitcher.
Adonia Wade. I think we got 3 Wades in here, right? So you got your coach. Oh, no, is it your husband or your brother or your father? Or who's?
It's my dad.
It's your dad. Okay, so your dad who's not here in studio. Next in studio, what's your name? Come on over here. Get close to the microphone.
Hi, I'm Megan Owens. I'm a left fielder.
Good job, Megan Owens. Who is next right here? Come on over here.
Hi, I'm Nicole Kunzman, and I play second.
All right, Nicole, nice work. Who's next? Who else we got here in studio? Come on over here and make your way. Get close to that microphone right there.
Hi, my name is Miranda Williams.
Good job, Miranda. What position you play, Miranda? Come on over here. Outfield?
Outfield.
Good job. All right, next, let's go.
Hi, my name is Danyasia Bacon. I'm a third baseman.
Nice. Who's up next? Go ahead, young lady.
Hi, my name is Monet Hergenhan. I play right field.
All right, what's up, Monet?
Hi, my name is Natalia, and I play outfield.
All right, what's happening? Go ahead, jump in.
Hi, my name's Carmelina Vigilati Martinez, and I play first.
That is quite a mouthful. I love it.
Tessa Petrangelo. I play first base.
Nice job.
Hi, my name's Alyssa Mann, and I play shortstop.
Okay, how about right here?
I'm Adriana Margie, and I'm the catcher.
Catcher. I think a catcher.
I'm Connor Archer, and I play outfield.
All right, very nice. All right, then we got the 2 coaches. So we've got here Lena Wade. Lena or Lena?
Lena.
Lena. What's up, Lena Wade?
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Thanks for having us.
And the greatest name ever, Maggie Bristol in studio.
No relation.
No relation.
Hi, I'm Maggie Bristol. I'm the assistant coach.
And all right, so Lena, let's go to you here for a second. I guess, did any of you coaches expect the season to turn out the way it did? Let's talk about the number of wins, the playoff seeding. This is big. Talk about it.
Oh, yeah, it's very big. We're tremendously proud of our girls here. Coach Wade, high standards for these ladies. We had all of them our third year. Well, most of them. Most of our returners are starters. So we knew it was going to be big. We knew everybody was going to come for us, but we expect a lot out of them, and they go hard every day in practice, and hard work pays off.
Yeah, no question about it. Maggie, let's go to you here for a second. And tell us the kind of idea how far down this program was, how difficult it was to find players, getting things rolling. I mean, look at this whole crew in studio. It looks like you got some great players, and things are obviously terrific.
We really do have an amazing group of girls. A few years ago, was it 3 years ago, that Coach Tony Wade took over the team, and it was a program that was certainly struggling. And in the last 3 years, with that, like Lena said, that hard work ethic, the amazing young ladies that we have, we've really been able to turn the program around from one that was struggling to a winning season.
And then you obviously did. All right, let's go right to the players. Let's go to Wade because I remember your name. What did you do to take up softball? Was it something that you started as you were young? Did it happen lately? Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, I've been playing softball since I was 3 years old because my family's just a softball family.
Softball family, yeah.
But I think that when my dad took over, it just became something that I got really close to these girls, and we just took it upon ourselves to, even when we didn't have motivation, just to remain consistent and put in work every day so that we can get better.
I think I was looking at stats. You batting around 500? Is that
Yeah.
you? Wow, you're rocking around 500. And
you.
Monet too, right?
Yes.
Monet, let's talk to you. So batting around 500. Talk about obviously the skills and time you put into the game.
I just try to put in as much work as I can, especially on outside, because the outside work is really the most important, not just the team stuff. You just really got to stay committed to what you do if you want to be consistent with things.
That's awesome. And Adonia, I think you 90-something strikeouts, 92, 93, 94 strikeouts. Talk about that. Let's talk about pitching here for a second. You guys spend a lot of time.
Yeah, I do. I spend a lot of time. I had a really great pitching coach. My sister started me off when I was really young pitching. She just taught me in our backyard.
Just throwing it. Get it going. Yep.
And then I went to the Conklin Raiders, and Dale Cook taught me the right mechanics. I have 6 different pitches, and I just like to I like to really mix it in a lot. My sister, Marcelina, she does a lot of, she calls my pitches, so we work really hard to balance it. My catcher's great. So we're really connected.
Catch, let's go to you. Where's the catcher here? Jump over here, Catch. Come on over here. What's your name again? Come down close to the microphone. Real close, real close. Here you go.
Adriana Margie.
Get really close. Come on. So talk about calling pitches and working with the pitchers here.
Well, depending on the batter, and usually me and Adonia agree on the calls.
Yep.
And we usually look at how the batter's standing and how close they're to the plate. And usually we like to mix it, change up fastball, but we like to use the spins when we can.
I like that. Very good. We've got our SummitCars.com spotlight interview. The entire Syracuse softball team in studio, minus your one coach, which is terrific. Girls, you excited to be here?
So excited.
Very excited.
All right, let's get this going. Of all the wins this season, let's talk about the best. We saw a huge, powerful win over JD. So close twice. Oh, no. So close twice. Yeah, twice. Let's talk about the best win that you've had. Let's go. Best win you've had so far. What's your name?
My name is Danyasha Bacon.
All right, best win you've had this season.
The best one we had so far was when we played ESM the first game.
That was your best one so far.
Yeah.
All right, next up, what's your name again? Come over here and get close to the microphone. Come on, let's look. Come on here. What was your favorite win?
My favorite win is when Monet actually hit that home run.
Who hit the HR? Monet?
Monet, yeah.
Nice, Monet. What game?
It was Fulton when we played Fulton.
Nice HR against Fulton. Very, very cool. Coach, let's go to you. Maggie, let's go to you here for a second. You look at full week of rest, which has got to be nice for you guys, then facing Baldwinsville next week in the section semis. Talk about facing Baldwinsville and what you girls are doing to stay focused and get ready for that.
I think we're very blessed because we have an amazing group of young ladies who are already focused, who are already ready to play this game. Very, very excited. I think just with a week of rest, we're really trying to take the time to work on our mechanics. We're really taking the time to make sure that our head is in the game and that we are mentally, physically, emotionally ready for this big game that's coming up on Saturday.
All right, very cool. Phil, jump in.
I think it was impressive the fact that you were able to, unlike a lot of teams that face someone like JD, for example, who's powerful and they're great every year, and you were able to play them close both times the last week or so and hit Shayna Mishral, who's one of the best pitchers in the area. What was your approach against her? I'll ask you what.
I watch Shayna. I follow her. I followed her year. She's a great pitcher. She really is. And I think just my dad, who's also my coach, we had a game plan to just go. Let's hit. Let's just try. We work a lot in the batting cage. We turn it up, and we just try to get our timing correct. We work on our 9 steps of hitting, our mechanics, and we just knew that if you think that you could hit the ball, you could hit the ball, no matter how great of a pitcher someone is.
When we have attitude right there.
When we have people on the program, quite often we talk about how they bond on and off the field and stuff, and it may be a little more difficult because you have a combined team here. Is it more difficult to get these off-field experiences? I mean, what are some of the things you do off the field? To bond, have chemistry, that sort of thing.
We do team bonding once in a while. We are actually talking about it, that we need another team bonding before our playoff game. But go out to eat. Our girls, we have a group chat, and we talk daily on the group chat, about little things, send little quotes, just to keep everybody engaged and together. That's what a team is about, everybody working together.
And are you noticing also the fact that because you're having success this season, there's a little more interest across the board at the schools in softball, and there's there'll be a long-term benefit from having a season like this?
Well, that's the biggest thing, I think, especially in the city. We really don't have the feeder systems. So that's what Coach Wade really harps on with our other coaches, is that we need a feeder system. So it starts when you're little. It doesn't start when you're on varsity. So that's the biggest thing. And we hope everybody's interested, and this is a good program. So.
Yeah, no question. Anything else, Phil? All right, let's go right around the board. Everyone gets a shout out. So let's first start out again. Why don't you start out, Wade, and give a shout out to whoever you want to give a shout out to?
I think just my dad and my whole family,
There
actually.
you
We're
go.
a really close family, and they've helped me out a lot.
All right, Donia. All right, who's up next? Give a shout out. Go ahead.
I want to thank my mom
Very
and
nice.
the rest of my family for helping me through these past few years, because I didn't start until 7th grade, and they've helped me a lot through these seasons.
All right, very nice. Go ahead.
I want to thank my family for starting me young.
Very nice. You're the second baseman? Yeah, second baseman. All right, go ahead.
I want to thank my
Family? That's okay. Don't worry. Have
I
fun.
want to thank my family for making me play softball, even though I wasn't into it at first. And then, I don't know, I came a little bit of a ways.
Nice. Good job. Go ahead.
Hi, I want to thank my mom, and I want to thank the Wade family as well for taking me in when I was 3 years old.
Oh, very nice. Amen.
Being there through my whole drive.
Praise Jesus. Amen. Go ahead. Monet.
I want to thank my dad. He's always been like my number one supporter through everything. He's always been there and everything for me. And he makes me work, which I appreciate a lot, because without all that work, I wouldn't be here today.
Very nice.
I would just like to thank my sisters most of all, because my sister was a senior here and played for Syracuse as well. And I want to give her props because I want to, live up to her expectations and what she did for the team. And also I want to thank my mom and my sister, my older sister, as well, for giving me inspiration and helping me get through this year.
Good job. All right.
I want to thank my mom and my parents and
Get close to the microphone. It's okay.
even my whole teammates, for supporting me and helping me through injuries and stuff.
Very nice.
I want to thank my mom for always being there for me, and my teammates for making this season, the past couple of seasons, be the best that they can be.
Good job. Catch.
I would like to thank my coach, Tony Wade, for always motivating me when I don't have it in me for myself.
Yeah.
Hi, I want to thank my family and my friends, especially my teammates, and my dad and Coach Tony, who have really been my two most motivators, who have really put in the inspiration in me to keep playing.
I love it. Go ahead.
I want to thank my team and my coaches for always motivating us to keep going.
Very nice. Coach?
Of course, thank my dad for including me in this long journey, and thank the girls for working hard, because without you, we wouldn't be here.
Very good. Maggie?
Well, first, I'd like to thank Tony for the opportunity to come on his coaching staff. I've known him for 18 years, and I've played for him all that time. So,
wow.
Yeah, so I'm very grateful to him for the opportunity to come on board to work with such an amazing group of young ladies, a great program. I love these girls. They're an amazing group of young women, and I'm very fortunate to be here. And lastly, I just want to thank my parents for instilling the love of the game, commitment, dedication, hard work, and for driving up and down the East Coast for 4 years of college and going to all but, I think, 4 of my games in 4 years.
That's great. Syracuse softball. Give yourselves a big round of applause, girls. Incredible job. Was it second? Is that number 2 seed? Is that what it was? Number 2 seed. Incredible job. All right, we'll be right back. This is the Aflac Insurance Inside High School Sports Show presented by SummitCars.com.
This is the Aflac Insurance Inside High School Sports Show, brought to you by SummitCars.com.
All right, here we are back in studio, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Bristol, Phil Blackwell, and been a fun show thus far. Real quick, Phil, let's get right to it. Let's talk about this. Our SummitCars.com spotlight interview. West Genesee boys tennis team 267 consecutive matches over the Wildcats. Did so 4-3 decision on May 15th. Long time with FM. We'll talk a little bit about that. We'll get into a bunch of other stuff here. Class A championship last week. Matt Manera. What's going on, Matt Manera? Talk on the microphone. Say hello.
Hello.
Terrific job. Great energy. A lot of spunk there. Let's try it again. Matt, what's going on?
Not much.
Nice, man. All right, Stefan, what's going on, pal?
I'm good.
Atanaski.
Atanasov.
Say it again.
Atanasov.
I like that. It's a cool name. Mike White. What's up, Michael?
Just chilling, not much.
Nice, Mike. James Plunkett.
I'm doing good.
James, get close to the microphone. Say hello.
I'm doing good.
Good job. Mac, what's up, pal?
I'm all good. I'm living.
Good job. All right, Coach, let's go right to it. I guess before it happened, let's talk about this. Did you sense that this was a season, this was a team that would take down FM?
Well, I knew we had some returning talent, and I also knew that we were getting better as the season went along. And I had a feeling that the team was starting to put it all together at the end of the season.
And then it clearly did, right?
Yes, it did.
All right, let's talk about this. Matt, let's go to you for a second. This was not a dominant season in that you lost twice to Baldwin, but let's talk about where you improved, and let's talk about kind of the peak here at the season's end. Talk about how you guys have peaked here towards the end of the season.
I really think that throughout the lineup, we really started to show dominance, and teams that were struggling at the beginning of the season really started to pick it up.
All right, let's go to Stefan. Let's talk about the same thing. Talk about a little bit about this season here and where you guys are finally at and have done such a great job.
Yeah, we started off pretty strong, and then as the teams practiced more and more, we all got more competitive together, and it got even more fun at the end.
I know. Yeah, right. Mike, talk about the end here and, the hype, the excitement, like your shirt says.
Oh, yeah, I think that definitely beating FM was clearly the highlight of our season. I mean, like Stefan said, we did start off really strong. We had a lot of initial talent. But after a while, our tennis IQ started to pick up a little bit and catch up to where our talent was.
All right, James, how about you?
Beating FM was probably the height. Then just carrying it over to the sectional title the next Wednesday was probably also the biggest thing we can do to finish out the season.
All right, good job. Max, how about you?
I just think as the season went on, we started to practice harder and harder, and we always wanted. Sorry.
All right.
We always wanted to be FM. And
no question.
We got that.
Joe, let's go to you here for a second, Coach here. So now let's talk about the FM match. At one point during the match, did you sense the win was going to happen?
Actually,
And at what point?
Well, actually, before the match started, I talked to the boys about the potential and that I felt that we had been playing our best tennis. If we're going to take our shot, it was going to be that match. After the first two singles players had won, I thought we had a legitimate chance to take it because I knew we had to have at least one, if not both, of those matches. I also thought we had more depth at the bottom of the lineup than FM did. All credit to FM; they're the standard that everybody's measured by, and Mark does a great job over there. But this year, I think our depth was a little bit greater than theirs.
Max and Ryan lost their first set. Talk about that, kind of the pep talk before they came back to get that all-important fourth point.
Well, yeah. How do I approach that one? They looked like they were nervous. They really did. Whenever you're playing an FM team, there's that mystique, and once they got past that and they settled in and they started to make better shots, they used a little bit more intelligence about their shot selection, and they just picked on open spots, and we figured out a few weaknesses and they exploited them.
All right, good job. I think about. You think about the difficulty getting focused again a few days later at the sectional tournament and kind of, did that take the pressure off a little bit? Matt, why don't you answer that question? We'll go right around. How were things after the fact?
Walking into sectionals, going into sectionals after beating FM kind of gave me a confidence that we could win sectionals.
Good job. And how about you, Stefan? Same thing.
So I lost during my FM match during the season, so it kind of motivated me to work harder during sectionals to try to beat them in the finale.
Very good. Mike, how about you?
Oh, yeah, my season was over at that point.
So you're like, doesn't matter here. James?
For the first time beating FM since 8th grade, after beating them, it felt great. So going into sections, I knew I had we had a shot to do something special.
Yeah, no question. Max?
Yeah, just like what they said. I mean, beating FM, we all knew that we had a shot to win sectionals for the first time in a while, and we just got the job done.
All right, Coach, real quick, we got one more final question, then we got to take a break. Having faced the guys who are headed to the state tournament next weekend, I guess assess how far they can go against this tough competition.
Well, when you get down to states, you're talking about some select players. They're ranked. They're USTA experienced players. The expectations are that we'll go down and play our best possible tennis. Draws everything. You could end up against a seed in one of the first rounds, and that's always a tall task. I like our chances because we've got some guys that were down there last year. They saw what it was all about, and they understand what it takes to play at that kind of level.
All right, give yourselves a big round of applause, fellas. West Genesee boys tennis kicking some butt. 2-second shout-outs real quick, right around the board. Go ahead, shout out. Who can you give a shout-out to? Matt, quick. Your dad, he's right there.
Yeah, my dad.
All right, quick shout-out, let's go.
My family both here, Macedonia and Australia.
Australia, I love it. Very cool.
Shout out my brother Malin and Cameron Robinson.
All right, good job.
Shout out to my family who's done everything for me.
All right, Max.
Shout out to my Tennis Nation group chat and my family and my grandparents.
Coach.
To my daughter, Michaela Manara.
All right, very nice. We'll be right back. ESPN Radio 97.7, 100.1.
Wegmans Food Markets, a proud sponsor of Inside High School Sports with Mike Bristol, provides customers a unique shopping experience, offering quality goods, a spectacular abundance of choice, restaurant-quality prepared foods, beautiful stores, and an incredible level of customer service. Experience Wegmans. Visit the Wegmans store nearest you, where you'll find consistent low prices on the items you need most. At Wegmans, every day you get our best.
Hey Syracuse, Summit's here and the time is right now for a certified pre-owned vehicle from your friends at Summit. Hi neighbors, Tracy here. We know you demand style with confidence in your ride. So every certified vehicle passes a 172-point inspection, has 2 warranties covering over 1,000 components, 24/7 roadside assistance, and a scheduled maintenance plan. So come on in, we'll treat you right at Summit Chevy Buick GMC, Route 5, Auburn, or online all the time at summitcars.com.
As a coach, I know the importance of having a game plan, but every once in a while, you can get blindsided. Like an injury that leaves you with expenses your insurance plan doesn't cover.
Aflac Volunteer Insurance levels the playing field, helping with everyday expenses that may not be covered by your existing major medical policies, from helping with your mortgage to transportation costs, even groceries.
Call today and make the Aflac team part of your game plan.
This is the Aflac Insurance Inside High School Sports Show, brought to you by SummitCars.com.
All right, Mike Bristol and the great Phil Blackwell. Always great to have Philly here in studio, and terrific interviews you line up today, pal.
Yeah, great group of people and lots of accomplishments with this group, especially great to see the Syracuse softball team and what they've done to turn around, I'll tell you that.
So what is the most, I guess, impressive team here that you felt?
The most impressive single performance I've seen this season, maybe it come last night from Lafayette's boys lacrosse team. They were only a 500 team during the regular season. Then this week, they go out, knock off the state's number 1 ranked team, Skinny Atlas, in the sectional Class D semifinals. And then, against your alma mater, who was trying to win their first ever sectional lacrosse title, Lafayette put a complete performance together, winning 16-1 in the final. Everything, offense, the defense, a mix of zone and man-to-man. They play like that. The Lancers can win a state championship. They're certainly capable of doing so. And the other teams, I mean, JD was a very, very solid 12-9 victory over Rick Beardsley's CBA team in the sectional Class C final. A terrific game, and they both got young, talented players. A lot of them come back next year. Class A was all Baldwinsville. They dominated West Genesee in the sectional final to claim their second title in 3 years. And FM pulled away from Auburn to win the Class B sectional title. You also have the girls' championship games on Tuesday night, where you have Baldwinsville and West Genesee again in Class A, FM and Auburn again in Class B.
Right.
JD in Class C, but they're playing ESM. And in Class D, Skinny Atlas tries to avenge last year's loss to South Jefferson.
All right, very, very nice. Let's go to our good friend Mark Burns, Syracuse Recruiting Battalion. What's up, Burnsy?
Hey, good morning. Thanks for squeezing me in. Busy weekend this weekend, I know.
So tell me a little bit about what the Army is doing for Memorial Day.
Well, we're supporting. We're doing. Just came from a wreath laying ceremony in Camillus, and basically we're just respecting those that went before us. I heard the commercial a little while ago talking about, one of the Army values of respect. And those of us that serve, there are veterans that have served and those that are still serving now, stand in some pretty big shadows of those that went before us. So we're, Memorial Day is to recognize those that have passed as much as Veterans Day is for those that have actually served. So we, a lot of ceremonies going on, and just I think it really helps to remember, the folks that made that ultimate sacrifice for us. So parades this week,
and so many, and deserve so much credit and so much of this memorial. Yeah,
and most of them, even the veterans you talk, they don't want to be recognized like this. It was just what they do. It's just one of those things. It was what was expected of them. They did what was expected of them. And when I look at, even looking back at some of these World War I documentaries, you don't realize a lot of those folks, 15, 16, 17 years old, putting on a uniform and serving. It's just amazing. Just amazing.
But, unbelievable to me. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So, like I said, I appreciate you taking a few minutes to fit me in. I know it's busy, and I missed this is 2 weeks in a row. I haven't been in the studio, and I kind of missed that. But
I know we miss having you in. It's always great seeing your smiling face in studio.
Got to bring, Phil and you your coffee. So
exactly, and I love that you do that. It's very, very nice of you. What are some of the benefits here, and what are some of the numbers and some of the things we can look at?
Well, we just upped. If someone's interested in enlisting as an infantryman or an infantry person, I guess to be politically correct, we just upped the bonus to $40,000. Half of that is paid upon completion of their training, and the other half is kind of split out through the duration of their enlistment. So there's some pretty good incentives, let alone the college money. They basically now go between tuition assistance and the GI Bill. You get your bachelor's for free. I had a good friend that just completed his master's, on the Army too. So if education is important and serving something bigger than yourself, you get a twofer with that.
And and exactly what the Army stands for when you guys talk about integrity and loyalty and all those terms that you teach in high schools and the lessons that you're able to teach all these kids. But then it goes on further into adulthood and you can just see on the educational piece how important that is throughout your career and your life to get a great education, and the Army is able to provide that.
Well, it's easy to serve in an organization. At least I feel that it's easy to serve in an organization that's values-based. You have to have certain bedrock values, and we have the Army values, and many of them you just mentioned. But also an organization that values people getting their education and moving up and having a good balance between, having a work ethic and a skill plus having the formal education. Even as we promote people through our ranks, we have a formal education system where we send them to prepare them for the next level of leadership. So a lot of those things, are valued, and they're great values to employers if they want to return to this great Central New York community afterwards.
No question about that. And you guys have done such a nice job. You've done such a nice job with community partnerships and integrating within the community.
We've tried. That's the fun part of the job, is getting out of my dusty office and out from behind my computer screen and talking to folks. And we're, once again, up in upstate New York here, we're fortunate to have, like great guys like Coach Boeheim that has been so supportive of us. Coach Marone, when he was here, been so supportive and making it easy to work with the community.
All right, I love it. Our good friend, Mr. Mark Burns, Syracuse Recruiting Battalion, having a great weekend, and thank you for doing what you do for the Army and the Memorial Day being so special for all of our veterans.
All right, well, I hope all the audience just takes a second as they turn in a hot dog to remember what this. Well, we don't celebrate Memorial Day, we commemorate it.
Absolutely.
So thanks for the time, Mike.
All right, thanks, Burnsy. Mark Burns, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Inside High School Sports Show. And Phil and I've got about 1 minute. What do you got to cover real quick? Hold on one second. Let me get do I got your microphone turned on? I think, oh no, you're on the wrong mic.
Right mic. Yeah, I mean, just wanted to mention that baseball section will start next week, big time. Softball sectional playoffs. And track sectionals, wanted to mention Liverpool. We had on our show last week. They swept the Class AA titles, both boys and girls, while in Class A, New Hartford boys and Central Square girls took championships. B1 titles went to West Hill girls, and Clinton girls, and boys titles went to, I'm trying to think here. Casanova boys won B1 or B2, and B1 title went to Chittenango. So there you go. And there you go.
All right, good friend Phil Black. Well, we'll see you next week. One last show. One more to go. We'll see you next week. This is the Aflac Insurance Inside High School Sports Show. It's presented by SummitCars.com. And thank to all of our guests here in studio and all of our sponsors, ESPN Radio 97.7 and 100.1 and 100.1 and 100.1 and 100.1 and 100.1.